South Korea's ruling Democratic Party is accelerating its agenda on three major reforms, unveiling fresh proposals to overhaul the judiciary and the media. Our political correspondent Moon Hae-ryun joins me in the studio to tell us more. Welcome, Hae-ryun.
It's good to be here, Sujin.
So, Hae-ryun, what's at the core of these reform plans?
So on Monday, the Democratic Party introduced its proposals for judicial and media reform, marking a key milestone in completing its so-called three major reforms, covering prosecutorial, judicial, and media systems. The prosecutorial reform passed in September dismantled the existing prosecution service and redistributed its main functions into separate institutions. Attention has now shifted to judicial and media reforms, which the party says are critical for restoring fairness and public confidence in core state institutions. Regarding judicial reform, the bill would almost double the number of Supreme Court justices from 14 to 26. The party argues that this expansion will speed up case processing and bring more diverse perspective to the court's deliberations. Under the plan, 4 new justices will be appointed annually, allowing the court to reach 26 members by the third year. With the terms of 10 justices, including Chief Justice Cho Lee-dae, ending during President Lee Jae-myung's tenure, he could appoint up to 22 justices overall. In South Korea, Supreme Court justices are appointed by the president, but require National Assembly approval, while the Chief Justice recommends candidates for associate justice roles, maintaining judicial input and limiting excessive executive influence.
So this is clearly a significant shakeup. So how are political parties responding to this?
So, unsurprisingly, the proposal has sparked some sharp partisan debate. The Democratic Party insists the reform is aimed at safeguarding public trust and ensuring political neutrality in the courts. Here's what the party chairman said at a press briefing on Monday.
Opposing judicial reform is no different from saying that. Given the opportunity, one can make biased rulings based on political interests. Judicial reform is about legally ensuring political neutrality under all circumstances.
Meanwhile, the main opposition, the People Power Party, condemned the initiative as a judicial coup that undermines judicial independence, claiming it could allow the administration to fill the Supreme Court with sympathetic justices.
The judicial reform being pushed by the Lee administration is a judicial coup with zero independence and fairness, an attempt by the government to control trials and dictate their outcomes.
During the Legislation and Judiciary Committee audits over the past few days, lawmakers clashed over the proposed appeal to the Constitutional Court system, which would have added a fourth tier of trial. Though this was removed from the draft after criticism, the DP plans to revisit it after further party consideration. Other judicial reform measures include diversifying the Justice Recommendation Committee, introducing judicial performance evaluations, and increasing transparency in court rulings.
And what about the DP's media reform? Can you tell us more about that?
So the Democratic Party has also unveiled its media reform plans, as you've mentioned, targeting the rapid spread of false or manipulated information online. The proposed bill introduces a punitive damages system, enabling courts to impose fines of up to 5 times the actual damages on media outlets or content creators who intentionally spread false information. The DP defines false or manipulated content as information that is clearly likely to harm others if circulated, emphasizing that intent is the decisive factor in determining liability. In addition, the legislation allows for fines of up to 1 billion Korean won, roughly $700,000 for repeat offenders, and includes measures to confiscate profits earned through the distribution of false content. To safeguard freedom of speech, the proposal also includes provisions preventing public figures from using defamation claims to silence critical reporting, aiming to balance accountability with press freedom. The Democratic Party positions the reforms as a way to protect citizens from misinformation and strengthen responsible journalism, while critics from the People Power Party argue the measures could chill press freedom and discourage investigative reporting. The party aims to pass these reforms before the National Assembly's regular session ends in December, but the PPP has vowed to resist, including through a filibuster if necessary.
All right, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today, Hae-ryun.
Thank you for having me.